Welcome to a rainy episode of Englewood Camera Shop Talk, at least for me. Kyle's area is completely dry, but
it's dry, but it's dark.
I'm being attacked by rain, which is cool because it's like the first real storm I've gotten here.
Yeah,
like big thunder and stuff like that. It's great. We have a new camera to talk about.
We're talking about a new camera and some things you can do with the camera that you might already have, which is pretty exciting.
We got all that news for you today, the viewer, and you can't wait to hear us talk about it with our expert opinions.
It's going to be insane.
Yeah, you will tell all your friends.
Can we start off by saying that we sold our first XT4 today? So shout out to Richard for buying the XT4 from us. We have another black XT4 available, and I think we've got 2 silver ones coming in soon too. So we're going to be chock full of XT4s, which you can turn into a webcam through Fuji's app, which is cool.
Fuji is just coming in with the 1-2 punch, and they're just pumping in new things into their cameras all the time. And I love everything they do now because
of the X100V.
Classic neg. No, it's just classic neg. That made me a happy Fuji guy.
You think you could do a webcam with the classic
neg? Oh, Fuji.
You're like, wow, man, you look like a moving picture of Kodachrome.
That would be that might end the game for everyone else.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Pretty crazy. So, but let's get down to business, Mitch. You wanted to go live last night, and I said, I don't want to go live because I was busy. I'd already done a virtual happy hour with some other photographers across Major League Baseball, and then I had to make some dinner, and we were going to watch some movies. And so I said, no, Mitch. So you've been pent up. You've been holding it in.
I've been holding it all in, man.
Before you unleash your opinions on the camera, what's going on with this little ladder thing behind you?
This little ladder?
Yeah.
Well, this dates back to my home.
Your roots?
Yes. Well, my parents always had some sort of Tex-Mex styling going on in their house, and they always had a fake ladder with a blanket on it. But it was in the warmest room in the house, the only room that got sun, and that was my favorite room in the house. So I wanted that.
Is it a fake ladder, or could it be used? It could be used as a ladder.
Well, it has some purpose. It holds the binoculars,
right,
and the map of Colorado that we always need when we get lost in our own apartment. So
yeah, because when you don't have Google Maps.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
dude, have you used Apple Maps recently?
That's all I use is Apple Maps.
Oh my god, it's so good now. They updated the hell out of it. It's crazy.
I never used Google Maps because Google Maps always screwed up for me personally. So I was always on Apple Maps team.
Well, if you're watching and you're an iPhone user and you aren't getting enough use out of Siri, you could just say, "Hey Siri, take me to." I probably just made a bunch of people's phones go off, but
right. Hey Siri.
Anyways, we're gonna talk about this new camera. I'm sure.
So give me the name. Give me the name of the camera and the manufacturer of the camera.
Well, it's a 4-letter manufacturer.
Okay.
Starts with an S. And I'll give you one guess who it is.
It's Sony. Sony came out with a new camera.
God, genius. The foresight on this, man.
I'm telling you.
I can't believe it. Anyways, so Sony comes out with the ZV1.
ZV1, man.
Yeah, and V, we're assuming, has something to do with the word vlogging. You know what? I'm sure you've got your opinion on this camera. I just think this camera is like an antidote, maybe. I think personally, for the last 10 years, I've been watching YouTube videos, and the vlogging community is maybe the smallest market, but also the loudest because they're the ones on the internet talking to everyone. So they complain about every camera that's released by any manufacturer saying it doesn't have this for vlogging. And I'm like, if this cures their hunger, then I'm glad it exists.
Right.
And there's a couple cool things about it that I like. One in particular that might seem kind of dumb, but in a way I kind of like it because it sort of just streamlines things for people who don't care about settings. But anyways, it's basically an RX100. If you're familiar with the RX100, there were 7 of them before this one. And all of them were, I mean, the price just kept going up and up and up and up and up on those.
It was getting expensive.
It was getting really expensive. And now this new one is pretty much an RX 100 with a slightly different body, a couple of changes that are dramatic, but the price though is pretty reasonable, I think, for what it is, for what it can do, what it can accomplish. But it's, I think it's like $750, right? Is it? Did you?
Yes, or 800. I think it's 800. 800 body only, or you can make the video creator kit, which comes with a wireless shooting grip and a 64 gigabyte memory card for 900.
That's actually not bad.
But
is it a Sony card?
It might be. I bet it's a Sony card. I mean, that would be weird. And I wouldn't put past Sony to not put a Sony card in, because they make a SD card that they don't even put into their camera. But yeah, it's let me see if I can find a picture of it here. I'm kind of pumped because the grip looks cool.
The grip
looks nice. And I'm gonna just screenshot off Petapixel. Sorry, Petapixel. And then we can show everyone. But as some people would say, you could do selfie portraits with this. Now I can show everyone. I'm gonna pull them up here. My cat is discovering the outside right now for the first time. It's hilarious. There's some geese that like flew by.
Oh no, those geese don't know what they've done.
So, all right, so folks, we're talking about this right here. We're talking about the ZV1.
Right off the bat, a couple things I already like about the body that I hope this is what I would say is the best thing about this camera is it's a bunch of things that Sony users have been asking for in their more professional lineup stuff that we hope then, and Sony tends to do that, they will carry the same sort of design formula across all of their cameras. So what I'm hoping is some of the things on this camera carry over to the full frame realm. And that first one is probably not what everybody's thinking, which I know what you're thinking.
You want the record button?
No.
You want the on-off button?
Nope. I want
a fixed lens on every body.
Well, that's true, but I want the rounded corners.
Yeah, I like the rounded corners.
Big time. I want those.
Everyone wants to get a look at the rounded corners. We'll show you. I'm going to show you. Uh-oh, where'd it go?
That's also not a metal body, I believe. I think the RX 100 has a more like fully aluminum body, I thought.
Sure.
This, I think,
it's very round.
Yeah, but this, I think, is more plasticky. A lot of the controllers are saying there's an important one. It's got a record lamp on the front where the autofocus assist lamp would have been. Maybe it does double duty. I have no idea, but it's that's a cool thing to have. Obviously, the rotating screen is probably the biggest news about it. This is the first, maybe the first Sony, like
point and shoot, something like that.
So, the first one, they all flip. This is the first one to flip out this way,
right?
Apart from maybe like a camcorder or something, but this one flips out to the side, which everybody asks for because it doesn't get in the way of anything. All their other screens go up and over the top where this dead cat would be in this photo, or down for some reason. Which, I mean, ultimately this is the most flexible version of a rotating screen that can still remain compact like this. I know personally, I really like the one that was on the A99, which went everywhere, but it was kind of a clunky, complex system. This looks pretty well built. I like how thick the actual edge of the frame is, and it looks like there's a ton of surface area there for you to grip. It looks like you could almost do it with gloves, even though these are really tiny cameras. Everything just looks bigger and easier to use. But there's that button that I said I was kind of excited for. In the top right, it's a bokeh button.
It's the portrait mode.
Basically, it doesn't do it artificially, but what it will do, it's sort of like how I set my camera now. I set my Sony to aperture priority and auto ISO, and I let it float between 100 and 6400 ISO. And I have the shutter speed limited to go no lower than a 2/50th of a second, and it can go as high as it wants. For like my casual shooting where I just don't really want to worry about it. I'm just doing like snapshots or street shooting or something like that, because I know a 2/50th of a second is going to get like a majority of the things I want to shoot. And in this case, I think this is kind of emulating that in some way, where it's just going to take whatever existing condition you're in, give you the widest aperture you can have, so you get the most background blur possible, which is good to exploit that, because even though this is, you know, a really expensive camera and it sort of boasts professional quality video and things like that, which it certainly can do, it's still a 1-inch sensor.
Yeah.
And even though it's a 1.8 lens at the widest, and hold on, let me rotate that. I'm getting like blasted by the sun.
Me too.
And there was no sun a second ago, and then
it came out.
Colorado said, "Nope,
it's beautiful.
No more. We're gonna."
Yeah, this is bad. It's coming right through the trees. Hold on, I'm gonna lower my blinds.
I guess this is where we can talk smack about Kyle since he's gone. You could say like, why are you still wearing a hat for like the 5th year in a row or something like that? Oh, he's back.
I didn't really do a good job. I didn't lower them enough.
Yeah.
But at least my face isn't like blinded. My mouth is gonna get, there we go. I don't know. It doesn't really matter.
You know what? It looks fairly even on my end. I don't.
Good.
It's not bad.
I'm this big anyway, so whatever. Yeah. But yeah, this is a cool camera. I think obviously it shoots 4K. Let's go over the specs. So it's got a 20 megapixel 1-inch sensor, and it's got the equivalent of a 2470 1.8 to 2.8 lens in it. So it's going to capture things in low light fairly well. It's got the newest processor, and then they added, well, it's got real-time autofocus and real-time tracking autofocus. So that's going to be nice for the people who are walking like with their, you know, their sticks or whatever.
Yeah, definitely.
Optical image stabilization. It's got a onboard directional 3-capsule mic designed to capture what's in front of the camera. This is what I'm reading off Petapixel. So, but you can add another mic.
You can. It has a microphone jack. The RX107, I believe, also had a microphone jack, but this has also a hot shoe on it, which that replaces where the viewfinder would have gone on the RX100 series. And then that microphone obviously takes up like a third of the camera.
I know, Jesus.
Which is pretty cool. They've actually got that. If you go to that middle photo again, that's a pretty unique way that mounts. It actually goes, that dead cat slides into the hot shoe mount, and you can sort of see it there. It covers the hot shoe up a little bit, and then that kind of just reaches over with a bracket to cover the mic with the deck. I think that's like a really cool minimal way to do it. Obviously, that's inspired by a lot of the people that were like gluing those things to the top of their cameras where the microphones were. But I think it's nice that they made an effort to just give it a nice, decent microphone out of the box, because like that's how I've always felt about these types of cameras. And they're like, oh, I want a small camera, but I also want a microphone jack so I can mount this gigantic shotgun microphone to the top. And I'm like, that's just, now it's not small. I'm not going to put it in my pocket. It's no longer this easy thing to just grab and go. Like if I was to use this camera for vlogging, or if I took it on a vacation to film a vacation or something, there's no way I'm going to put a giant microphone on the top. Like, no, it's just not practical. But this looks like it'd be a fairly decent microphone. I think it's probably borrowing some of the technology that they have from their brand new, I don't know the number on it, but it's a microphone that plugs into the hot shoe, and it's cordless. It just uses like the digital interface on the hot shoe to work. And it's like, you can change all the directions that it records, and it's pretty cool. And Sony's always had good audio technology and stuff. But yeah, the fact that it's got the microphone, it's got the hot shoe mount, it's got a microphone jack, even though it has an upgraded microphone. It has the brighter lens, the 1.8 to 2.8 instead of the 24 to 200, which is a 2.8 at the low end. Simple control layout, big fat record button on the top, and I mean, it really does kind of just, it's an entire wish list for a vlogger.
Right.
Which,
what if, have they made like a camera that records when you say record?
No, I think GoPro's the only people who have that.
Oh, really? It'd be cool if they could put that in there. That way you don't have to like hit it and then turn on. Maybe if you have a controller, I guess, a wireless remote.
Well, that little Sony remote grip thing that goes in the bottom is kind of cool. The only thing I wish that thing did, and I thought it was kind of a missed opportunity, is it's not an external battery at the same time, because this does use the same battery as the RX100, and that battery, it just isn't. It's not good. It's not a good battery. So you need at least two, and I think that again kills the grab and go ability of it. To just take off. You're like, okay, I got the camera. Oh, I need a battery, and now that's one extra thing. Like, even though it's a small thing, it's one extra thing. So if you could just keep it connected to that grip, and that grip held like an external battery pack in it or something like that, it'd be fantastic. But I like the idea of the grip. It's got controls on it and the zoom and the record button and everything. It's pretty sweet.
I dig it. It's a nice looking camera. These photos obviously are nice too, but I like the roundness. I would dig a round Sony.
Yeah,
like a rounded edged Sony.
Yeah, I want the A7 IV if it ever comes out. It won't. I think it's just going to look like the A7R4, but I want the A7 IV to be like the bigger brother to this.
Right, that'd be sweet. It would. I think they would all start to look like the Nikon or the Canon. Then
that's fine. They don't like. I don't care if they're the same.
Right. if you're a Sony shooter, you know that you don't have a perfectly clean camera because the sharp edges on your Sony have at least been knocked down once.
Day one, you definitely got to scratch on one of those corners.
Exactly. So, but I'm just watching. One cat wants to sleep, the other cat wants to play, so it's not going well. For the cat that wants to play. So the other thing I wanted to talk about, Mitch, Larry from Fuji was messaging us earlier, and he was like, "Hey, you can use your Fuji as a webcam." And I was like, "What?" And I was like, "I wish I had known this. I think it's new, but you can literally turn a GFX 100 into a webcam."
Yeah, that's like freaking awesome. And that's like totally with the times too, right?
Yeah.
If I know me and my girlfriend wanted to start streaming like video games, maybe like a month ago, that equipment and the capture cards, stuff like that, and the things you need to plug your cameras in to use them as webcams, or like $100 devices and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But all of a sudden with quarantine, and it's not quarantine, but people staying home.
The stay-at-home order.
Staying at home. Now everybody wants to do that. They're either doing conference calls, video calls, or something where they have to sit in the computer and they have to record ourselves, much like us. But we, that stuff, like the price gouging is just skyrocketed. And Canon did something recently too, very similar. They gave some sort of software update to their cameras where you can use it straight as a webcam. But I'd rather use a Fuji because it's even more like it's so. The cool thing about Fuji is like, I don't know, what was it, like 2 years ago? Everybody was like, why would you ever use a Fuji for video, anything video related?
Right.
Like, it's like, it wasn't even a function like in their cameras. Maybe it was 3 years ago, but now they have fantastic video capabilities, and this only adds to it. It'd just be cool to use your Fuji for that. So, and like you said, it'd be awesome to do film simulations. Yeah, can you imagine
during that video chat with Classic Neg would be awesome, or
that would be amazing. Fuji, please, Larry, where are you? Let's do it.
Larry, let's do it. But here are the cameras. So if you're watching and you have a Fuji camera and you do a video chat every day, give this a shot. I'm kind of bummed because you need a Windows machine. But you've got a GFX 100, a GFX 50S, the GFX 50R, the XH1, the X Pro 2 and 3, the XT2, 3, and 4. So all you need is that, a USB cable, and a Windows machine.
Are you telling me the X100 doesn't do it?
The X100 doesn't do it. I know. You were singing Fuji's praises 5 seconds ago.
Yeah, I was. I was about to just go buy one.
We can't buy it from the shop. We don't have any. We need to get some more.
No, we don't have any. I have too many people like that camera. It's all my fault.
So,
but anyways, good news anyways. And I'm sure Sony's not far behind, to be honest.
Yeah. I wish I have my trusty XT30 here, but it's not on the list. So I can't do it.
Well, that's a big fat bummer.
But I can fit it in a bag that's different than an XT3 because it's smaller. So in general, I'm saving bag space, but I can't,
Yep. Well, that's the thing about a small camera. You get a smaller bag.
Yeah.
And then since you have a smaller bag, you don't feel like you have to buy more things to fill that bag.
It's true. We were talking to a bunch of customers today who are like, man, I've just been sitting at home researching equipment, which is probably the worst thing to do for someone with gear acquisition syndrome.
Yeah.
I mean, Matt, imagine all the cropping you could do when you start screenshotting. I'm joking. The megs don't transfer. I don't know, Matt.
What? This is your question is worded wrong. The real question is, who wouldn't use 100 megapixel medium format camera as a webcam? That's the biggest flex ever.
Yeah, it's like, sorry guys, if you can't see me, that's your problem. Because your mom's trying to get a job at the camera shop. She says, if you have someone who maybe you might need a webcam for some business needs, then maybe buy a Fuji.
So Michael says only with a 70 to 200. I want to ask the comment section, what's the most ridiculous over the top like webcam setup you could think of using an interchangeable lens system?
A 3D webcam. When it comes in just super hot, just
instant. Like before I even finished, it's like 3D webcam.
So, but yeah, a guy called the other day. He's like, "Yeah, do you have webcams?" And I was like, "No." And then I was like,
"Now we do."
Now we do. We have webcams, and it's cost me $1,600.
So an X-Pan. That's
an X-Pan.
I wish that were possible.
Like, you could do a wide lux webcam if you could figure out how to. You're constantly just.
If you were fast enough at developing film, you could do it.
Yeah.
You just you'd be like an hour per second, but you'd.
Dude, I was watching. I was in the dark depths of TikTok the other day, and this kid in college was like in his final exam, and he had made a picture of what was he doing? Oh, he made a picture of himself, and he put it. It was a video of himself on his phone, and he just put it up to the webcam like this, and so he was just like blinking and listening and watching. But then you pan left, and he was like playing Call of Duty.
Hey man, that's Mission Impossible right there.
Yeah, it was perfect.
Props for him though. I mean, he was getting the wins.
Yeah.
Unlike us, we did not win last time we played.
We sucked. We didn't. I don't know, man.
I wasn't taking that one seriously.
Yeah, you were screaming, man. Your neighbors were probably like, "What is this kid doing?"
Yeah.
I'm over here worrying about my cats crapping on the ground and stuff, not making it to the litter box But
what would your ideal streaming camera setup be, Kyle?
My ideal streaming camera setup? I don't know. Could you GFX is probably as good as it gets. If you think about like the camera setup you could do. I don't know. Something that's not going to cost me an arm and a leg, but is easy to set up.
Oh no, the cost is not a factor.
Cost is not a factor. Oh, then like a phase one.
Yeah.
Yeah, like a phase one with like a 200 megapixel back on it or something like that.
I'm thinking like one of those, like a full frame cinema Canon of some kind, like a 1DC with a 600 f4 perfect compression.
Yeah,
I'll look the best because I'll be just like the most compressed.
You know those lenses that you attach to, and they're really long. You can shoot macro with them.
Yeah.
For Nikon, Or I think most of them are for Nikon, but I think they have them.
Just your eyeball.
Like, yeah, and I would just be like, do that from like super far away. Or I could do like that gigantic Sigma. Was that 1200?
Oh yeah, that thing. The giant like tank, like buster looking lens.
Yeah, it was a bazooka, and you could have like you'd have to be across the street, and have a long cable running to it, and just have 2 tripods, obviously, because I think it needs 2 tripods. And just leave it there, just walk inside.
I mean, that's not unreasonable. I don't think that's unreasonable. If it looks good, do it.
It'd be when it got stolen because your webcam would go off.
Oh God, Matt!
And then you could
Matt, no, that we can't use that.
Problem,
Do you guys want to know more about me?
I think he's talking about that Nikon thing. That Nikon lens is a probe lens.
Oh,
yeah.
I'm thinking of something different.
I know you're thinking. Keep your mind out of the rear end there. I had a really bad "that's what she said" joke today at the shop. I said it to a customer, and they laughed. I think it was out of pity, but
that's usually what I laugh at for your jokes.
Oh, come on, really? Yeah. You don't think I'm funny? I like being around you though, because you always laugh at my jokes, so I think I'm funny. So it like kind of builds me up.
Oh, see, it help your friends out, everyone,
and laugh at their jokes.
Even though they're.
I'm gonna get rid of this Sony camera now. We're not gonna have it on the screen anymore. There we go. So that's it. That's the vlogger camera, and those are the cameras you can use for Fuji's new webcam link. So
yeah, we realized that like the Sony camera we just talked about that probably doesn't appeal to a ton of people who watch our show, but it's the evidence of what could be with Sony that a lot of us have been asking for. So hopefully it's a sign of things to come. And then that Fuji thing is just another example of how updated their cameras always are. So that's kind of what we have today.
Is the ZV1 isn't weather sealed, is it?
It can't be. I mean, even if they said it was
right,
the extending and it's a retracting lens and all that, that's never going to be.
I'm just thinking like it would be a perfect camera for someone who's like trying to go like vlog their trip to Iceland or something like that.
Yeah, well, I know there's some of those hard cases that are a little bit more affordable than you would think for that style camera in comparison to like an interchangeable, like put a D5 in a water housing and it's like more than the D5. But I think there's one. I think even Sony makes one.
Yeah, I've always wanted to take like an RX100 into like Dream Lake or something like that.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool.
That'd be sick.
But it's probably not like afraid of water though. I'm sure it can get rained on a little bit. But
yeah, like most cameras, like a drizzle.
It's got a giant hot shoe on the top and a big old microphone. It's got all kinds of holes in it, so I don't think it's going to be super sealed. Even if they say it is, I wouldn't trust it. So
that'd be pretty crazy to have a microphone like that up there. If you're trying to get like a fully weather sealed camera, then get like a TG6.
Yeah, those are cool.
They shoot 4K. So
yeah, and I think some of those have a flippy screen too.
Yeah, the 860 or whatever it is, the one below the TG.
They're ahead of the game. Took Sony 10 years to do that.
Olympus is like, bam, and take it underwater. So,
anyways, I gotta go make
some dinner,
salmon.
Oh, I made salmon last night.
Wow.
How are you gonna make your salmon? Do you want some tips?
Well, I've got a special way that I make my salmon.
What do you do?
So I take a pan and I put an unhealthy amount of olive oil in it.
Sure.
Like that.
Does it cover the salmon?
Yes. Well, it's at least like half the salmon. You got to make sure the salmon is like taking a bath in it, right? And then you let that stuff boil, and I cover it with tin foil, and it sits in there for like 5 minutes.
Boiling.
What? Hey, let me finish my process.
You're boiling your olive oil?
Well, it's not. I'm frying the salmon. All right. I'm waiting for my mom to tell me how dumb I am right now.
You have so much olive oil in there that you're technically now you're boiling your salmon in olive oil.
If that's what you want to call it, then fine. But I'm frying it. So I'm putting the tin foil over the pan and it sits there and it does its thing, or the food gets hot and it changes. I don't know, 5 minutes. It doesn't take long to do it.
Yeah.
And then it comes out, and then I squeeze like a whole lemon over it, and some sort of black pepper or something like that, and like I think some sort of salt. I forgot what I have up there. I don't know what the name of it is.
Salt, kosher salt,
but
lemon pepper, lemon zest, or whatever.
It's good. It tastes like
salmon.
No, it tastes like chicken, but
it's because you fried it.
Yeah. So that's how I do it, and that's how I'm gonna do it. It's
Mitch, do you have garlic?
Hayden, do we have garlic?
I don't know. We have actual garlic.
We have actual garlic.
That's good. That's garlic. Yes. so take your garlic. Do you have a mincer? Do you have a mincer?
Hayden, do we have a mincer?
No, it's just called a knife.
It's called a knife, she said.
So like just really get that garlic going, right? And put enough, and then rub it into the salmon, right? Rub it into the salmon.
This is going beyond my skill.
Hold on, it's gonna taste way better, and then it's gonna taste like fish.
We're trying to make it not taste like fish.
Put a little olive oil, like swirl it in the pan, right? And then add a tablespoon, like a half tablespoon of a half a stick of butter.
All right. I'll tell you what. Okay, we have butter. We definitely have butter.
Yeah, put a half a stick of butter.
We're American. We have butter.
Yeah.
So I'll tell you what. I got enough for this fish. I got like 2 pounds of salmon. Okay. So I got enough to do a little bit your way,
right?
And your little intricate things that you got going on, and then I'm just gonna do my throw it on the pan and fry it way.
Yeah, you're drowning your.
It's gonna be better. It tastes.
It's not gonna be better.
Yes, it is.
Let me tell you. All right, I'm not done yet. All right. Now you're gonna squeeze. You have butter, right? And you've got some lemon.
Some lemon, a whole lemon.
Oh yeah, I'm okay with a whole lemon. Put a whole lemon on there, and then you're gonna pan fry it. And
do I have to do any flipping?
Yeah, you should probably flip it.
That's bad news bears, man.
That's bad news bears.
Bad news bears. You don't want me to flip food in a pan. It's gonna go
on. You're not supposed to go like this, especially when you got
I don't have a middle ground, dude. I either don't flip it or I launch it. There's no middle ground.
Like a thing and flip it like nice and smooth.
With what? Tongs? Oh, we have tongs.
You have tongs. Flip it with tongs.
I can use tongs.
Yeah.
Genius.
So.
Anyways, tune in next time to see how my cooking goes.
Will you take a picture of it?
I'll take a picture of it.
Thank you. We take a picture of it while it's submerged in.
Yeah, I'll do it.
Okay.
So recapping what you do, a little bit of olive oil for some stupid.
A little bit of olive oil.
And, we get the garlic. We mince the garlic.
Mince the garlic and rub it into the top.
Rub it in.
Rub it in.
After chucking it, I'm gonna throw it at it, and then I'm gonna rub it.
And then
I don't know. Chefs, they always throw stuff.
Yeah, add a half stick of butter.
Half stick of butter. That's easy.
Yeah, or if you want to be American, just do a whole stick of butter. What's going on here? You okay?
I'm distracted by aircraft.
So and then add some lemon, and then make sure you cut.
Couldn't get it. Sorry.
Cut a slice of lemon and put it on top when it's done. When you're done flipping it.
Got it.
Got it. You're good to go. Yeah,
I got it. I know the recipe.
It rubs. There we go. What's the comment of the day? We're going to show it. It rubs the lotion on its skin.
Lost my appetite. Thanks.
Yeah, there we go. This has been Camera Shop Talk for the 27th of May. Come see us at the shop this Friday and Saturday, 9 till 3 p.m. All right. Let's get out of here.
Thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching.
Loyal viewers. We really appreciate it.
This has been Cooking with Mitch and Kyle.
So